Hello, welcome back to my haunted library. It's Regina. So I just recently celebrated a birthday at the end of August. So before COVID, I usually spent my birthday having a nice dinner, which I did do this year too. And it was probably the first time I'd been out to dinner for like 6 months. I went out a couple times. I had a couple lunches, but this was like my first night out in a long time. And I really had a great time with some friends. Normally, for my birthday, my husband would let me go on a little shopping spree at the local Neiman Marcus outlet, which was always my favorite store because they would have these beautiful designer clothes, really, really marked down. I mean, even marked down, some of them were very expensive, but you could get like a Marc Jacobs dress for, $100 versus 5,000 or whatever ridiculous markup it was. But the Neiman Marcus outlet, unfortunately, closed, so I wasn't going to buy clothes this year, so my husband's like, well, what do you want? And I'm like, I want books. So it's very dangerous to hand your wife your eBay account. But that's what I did. I went on a little book haul online, and I'm going to share with you what I got. Most of these I got on eBay. I did buy a few at a bookstore a few weeks ago, which I'm going to include because I haven't really covered those. So I will do close-ups of all the books. And I have a variety here. I have a lot of paperbacks from hell. I have some hardback Gothic romances. So let's begin with, this was probably the most expensive one I bought, just a single book because I guess it's like rare and out of print, but I couldn't resist. Torments by Lisa W. Cantrell. It has a really cool cover with a sinister looking jack-o'-lantern. This I started reading. I was trying to get it done a little faster, but I started reading it, and I noticed right away that it was the type of book that it's very, I wouldn't say dense, but it's one of those books you have to kind of really pay attention to, as opposed to some of these other books that I read this month. I'm up to chapter 6, and it's really good, and it's very well written. I know she wrote another book called The Manse, I believe it is. I don't have that one. I haven't read it. But if anyone knows more about this author, let me know. So next, speaking of Halloween, is a book. It's a classic. I couldn't resist this copy with this amazing Halloween vibe, and that's The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. There's like a texture on the cover that's very cool. It kind of reminds me almost like a pop-up book. It's not a pop-up book, but how cool would that be? Someone should do that for this book. But I will be reading this again this Halloween with this edition. It's really, really gorgeous. And I got this at a local bookstore that opened up. As soon as the bookstore opened up, I went and bought a couple books. So something else I got from that same bookstore is Creaky Stairs, A Book of Dark Truths, Volume 1, presented by the Bucks County Writers Group. I live in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. I'm not part of the group, but maybe I should join. I'm going to actually contact them and bug them a little bit about letting me into their private club. I think the Writers Group is right in Doylestown, which is right next to the bookstore, which would explain it. So this is some short stories by some local authors. So I'm going to save this book for October because I love to read short horror stories during the month of October, like read one every night. Next, this is a book that I see Merce from Harpies in the Trees doing a lot of BookTube videos on. I have not read this author yet, but I'm going to, and that's Darcy Coates, Voices in the Snow. I picked that up at the bookstore as well. On her recommendations, it looks like something I would really like. And now for the giveaway section of the video, I got a lot of Michael Slade books on eBay. They came 4 of them. This one, this is Headhunter. This is a pretty famous cover. I was thrilled to see that. Ghoul, with another very cool cover. Cutthroat, this one opens up to a surprise inside. You won't wake up screaming because you won't dare fall asleep. And this one is called Death's Door. I haven't read any of these Michael Slade books. In fact, I don't know if I've ever read a Michael Slade book, but now I have a nice collection. So here's the giveaway part. So for all you Paperbacks from Hell fans, you want to make sure you enter. Now, I have to say, it's only for the United States, only because I just can't afford to spend $30 to ship it overseas, and I do apologize for that. I will be doing a giveaway soon of some ebooks that would be open for everyone, so keep your eye out for that. But this is only for my friends here in the United States, and this is Ghoul. I have a copy of Ghoul, and they're both pretty much in the same state of condition. So I will be giving away one of my Ghouls, that sounds funny, You can have all of my goals actually. So put your comment below if you want to enter the contest, a giveaway, I guess I should call it. Please just say giveaway below or leave a comment saying you want to be part of it. Okay, so now on to some other books. So just recently I've become a really big Velda Johnston fan. I've been reading all of her books and buying as many as I can. I love her gothic romances, and these all have really great covers. I think they were probably part of like a book club series in the 70s. This one is called The House on Bostwick Square. I really like the way she writes, and I like how short the books are. Like I'm a big fan of a short read. It's great to read like a really long book sometimes, but there's nothing like finishing a book in one sitting or just, a couple of days. So I really am looking forward to reading all of these Velda books. Here's one that has a gorgeous cover, Glen Draco by Laura Black. This looks like a Scottish romance. Saraband for Two Sisters by Philippa Carr. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Another gorgeous cover. When I do read romance, this is the type of romance I like to read. A little more of a gothic, maybe historical. So a few people have mentioned that they enjoy my V.C. Andrews reviews and wondering if I'm going to continue to review V.C. Andrews books, and I definitely do plan on doing it. I just kind of lost momentum with the Castile series a little bit, but I'm getting back into it. I bought myself a nice hardback copy of the next one in the series. I think this is book 3, Fallen Hearts. I will probably start this one very soon. I'm reading a few things at once now, so I don't want to feel like I'm rushing to get to the next book, but sometimes I do feel that way. I'm sure other booktubers can relate. And then I bought a couple books by Chelsea Quinn Yarbrough, a writer that I've kind of discovered recently when I read a couple of her books. And here's one I have read, but this is a different edition. This is a nice hardback with a really cool cover, and that's Hotel Transylvania. I did a buddy read with Alex from Hey Little Thrifter on this book and really enjoyed it. There's the author photo on the back. Nice. She was a very prolific writer and wrote in different genres, but she definitely wrote in horror genre. And this one looks super interesting, and it has a great cover, Crusader's Torch, a historical horror novel. This really looks like something I would enjoy. This dust jacket is just divine. I love all the colors and just the drama. Very cool. This is another author that, if you read a book by an author and you enjoy it, you kind of want to go back to it and check out other of her works. And this is another one, another historical horror novel called The Palace by Chelsea Quinn Yarbrough. That's a very provocative cover. So this is the last book I got, and this is a classic that I've loved since I was a kid, and I didn't have a nice copy of it, so I treated myself to a nice first edition of The Other by Thomas Tryon. I plan to reread this book this year. Well, you can't do that, can you? So let me know in the comments below if you read any of these books. If you would like to be entered in the giveaway, let me know that as well. So that's all I have for today. Thanks for stopping by my haunted library, and I'll see you soon. Bye.